ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, February the 10th. We have some accumulating snow coming to the Mid-Atlantic region from later tomorrow into the morning hours on Wednesday. There will be another system to quickly follow from late Wednesday into Thursday. This first system looks like it takes more of a southern route headed towards the coastal waters of the Mid-Atlantic region. As a result, it looks like primarily a snow event for places like D.C. and Virginia, where the overall snow totals should be higher in that part of the Mid-Atlantic region, the southern Mid-Atlantic region. For example, D.C., Delmarva, Virginia certainly should end up getting more snow in this first system here compared to places farther to the north and east, such as New York City. The second system will have a lot of cold air to work with at the onset, late Wednesday night time frame, therefore some snow and sleet. However, that storm ends up cutting up to the west and north of the I-95 corridor region, so ultimately any snow or sleet at the onset looks like changes over to freezing rain and then rain in the Mid-Atlantic region. And that again is later Wednesday night into the morning hours on Thursday. So let's kind of go through some of the factors involved. We've been talking about southeastern U.S. ridge. Indeed, here are the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps beginning here Monday morning, February the 10th, and we have above normal heights here over the southeastern part of the nation. And again, this is associated with a feature that is fairly common for La Nina winters, southeastern U.S. ridge here. And this system coming from later tomorrow into the morning hours on Wednesday is not all that powerful, and one of the reasons why is it just doesn't have that much support in the upper part of the atmosphere. We'll move forward here through the afternoon into the evening, and here we are on Tuesday morning. No real sign at 500 millibars of a strong or deep upper level low, and hence again, not that strong of a surface system here, kind of limiting overall snowfall amounts here. Then we'll move forward here into the middle of the week. Here we are on Wednesday morning, still signs of that southeastern U.S. ridge hanging along the eastern seaboard, a lot of troughiness out over the middle and western part of the nation. Now, eventually, the southeastern U.S. ridge gets kind of whacked down a little bit, diminishes in importance. Not through much of the upcoming weekend, however. That weakening of the ridge really takes place next week. We'll see in a moment here on the temperature anomaly forecast maps that cold air kind of floods the Mid-Atlantic region early part of next week, and at the same time that southeastern U.S. ridge kind of diminishes in importance. And here we are about a week from right now, next Monday, with a pretty deep upper level trough centered over eastern Canada and extending all the way down into the southeastern part of the nation. Well, quite a dichotomy across the nation as we begin the day here on a Monday morning with respect to overall temperatures. A lot of warm air concentrated over the southern part of the nation, again supported by that upper level ridge in the southeastern U.S. A lot of cold air throughout the northern U.S. and the cold air generally sticks around for the next couple of days here across the northeastern U.S. Notice start to get an edge to the north and east of that warmer than normal air by the middle of the week. Here we are on Wednesday morning and then into Wednesday night and during the day on Thursday. Now, this is when that second system cuts up to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region. That allows some of the warmer than normal air down across the southeastern states to poke all the way up into the north and east by later Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. And again, there'll be plenty of cold air at the start of that second system late Wednesday, allowing for snow and sleet, but ultimately the warmer air wins out and precipitation changes over to plain rain for the most part by Thursday in the Mid-Atlantic region. Then we go into the upcoming weekend. We still have this back and forth between the southeastern ridge and some colder air to the north as far as the Mid-Atlantic is concerned. But then by the time we get to the end of the upcoming weekend and the early part of next week, the cold air kind of overwhelms the northeastern part of the nation. Again, this is a week from right now. Now let's walk through the forecast maps from last night's zero-Z GFS model run. There is a low pressure area off the Carolina coastline this morning. That is not the system that will produce some accumulating snow later tomorrow into Wednesday. We'll move forward here in time and do have a decent cold air locked into place all the way down into Virginia as we begin the new work week here. And here we go. By the time we get to, let's say, midday on Tuesday, we have this low pressure that is, again, taking more of a southern route this time towards the open waters of the western Atlantic off the coast of the mid-Atlantic region. Snow probably breaks out across the D.C. metro region, let's say midday, early afternoon on Tuesday, probably mid to late afternoon in Philly, and late afternoon, early evening in New York City. It will be fighting some dry air to the north and east as it tries to advance to the north and east. And again, this system looks like it'll concentrate with its heaviest snowfall amounts down in the southern mid-Atlantic, places like Virginia, Delmarva Peninsula, D.C. area. I expect to see maybe 4 to 7 inches right now. Preliminary snowfall estimate for the D.C. metro region, 2 to as much as 5 inches in Philly. And in those snowfall amounts in the Philly metro region, the lower amounts, the 2 inches for example, up to the north and west, higher amounts off to the south and east. For example, Philly International Airport should end up with more snow than Pottstown, let's say. Even less in New York City. I'm thinking right now maybe 1 to 3 inches across the New York City metro region. And here we go. By the time we get to later tomorrow night into the early morning hours on Wednesday, that low pressure area again takes more of a southern route this time to the coastal waters of the mid-Atlantic region. So that pretty much assures mainly a snow event, even in D.C. Certainly across Philadelphia, New York City, mainly, if not completely, a snow event here with this southern track. Now, we'll move forward here. The snow tends to wind down by Wednesday morning, and right on its heels, there'll be another system here. This system will move up to the north and west. It's what we call kind of a Great Lakes cutter. The surface low will move well to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region. Now, there is a very strong high pressure stationed here late Wednesday night over the southeastern part of Canada. That will make, certainly support a lot of cold air that will be positioned over the northeastern states, and it will be reluctant to give up its ground. So certainly this next system looks like it'll start off in the mid-Atlantic region with frozen precipitation in the form of snow and then sleet, but ultimately with that track to the north and west, enough warmer air will move in to change the precipitation over to freezing rain and then ultimately to plain rain late Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. Now let's clear this and then move forward here. And here we go. Again, a good chance for snow, let's say Wednesday evening in much of the mid-Atlantic region. That high still hanging on for a while across southeastern Canada. But notice the low pressure area here again. That initial system later tomorrow into early Wednesday basically moves in this fashion, ends up here, and this second system ends up cutting to the north and west, and that allows that southeastern U.S. ridge to have more of an influence for the second system later Wednesday into the day on Thursday. Ultimately, the snow in the mid-Atlantic changes to sleet, and maybe freezing rain, and then ultimately plain rain by Thursday morning. We're talking plain rain at D.C., Philadelphia, and probably New York City at that time as well. And with that storm track up to the north and west, that kind of limits the accumulating snow with that second system to interior sections of the northeast U.S., New England, interior New York State later Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. Then we have another system that looks like it'll head into the northeastern part of the nation by the time we get to, let's say, later Saturday night time frame. Doesn't have all that much cold air on the front end here. So right now looks certainly like a mixed bag, and maybe more in the camp of plain rain over the middle part of the upcoming weekend. Here we are on Sunday morning by this time, and once that storm system passes on by, you can see right here by midday on Sunday, it has a cold frontal system right here moving off to the south and east. That's when that cold air really starts to flood the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S. We're talking late in the upcoming weekend into the early part of next week. A lot of cold air drops down into the northeastern part of the nation. Then we'll have to watch and see if another storm system can move into that colder air mass sometime during next week. But for the, let's say, the next 24, 36 hours or so, we have some accumulating snow headed to the Mid-Atlantic region. The highest amounts will be in the southern Mid-Atlantic, places like Virginia, D.C., Delmarva Peninsula, with lesser amounts up across New York City. Preliminary estimates here for snowfall amounts, I'm thinking 4 to 7 inches in the D.C. metro, 2 to 5 in Philly, and maybe 1 to 3 in New York City. And then another system quickly follows late Wednesday night, Thursday morning time frame. That looks like it starts off frozen, maybe snow, and then sleet, and then freezing rain, and ultimately plain rain for much of the day on Thursday in the I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic. So a very active weather pattern continues through this week, and looks like right into the end of the month of February. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.